Hey gang, we're talking some fairly obtuse tech in X-Men Next Dimension for this video, specifically canceling normals into special moves. Um, in this game, the special move, it's really arbitrary, the cancel points in character strings, and it's not well defined and it's not obvious. Um, there are so many different strings that each character has, and they could cancel at any time, um, or so you might think. So I'm going to give Havoc as an example. Havoc can cancel into his high beam from standing light punch, from light punch, and heavy punch into heavy punch. He can cancel it into all of his low buttons. Oop, maybe not light punch. But, oh, sorry, I'm doing the wrong thing. All of his low buttons, or at least crouching buttons, will cancel into his low shot, except for heavy kick. So that's light punch, light kick. But heavy kick cancels into sensational kicks, which is his air seek, which is a ridiculous name, and I love it. But light punch will not cancel into sensational kicks. However, light punch will cancel into sensational kicks. There's like a lot of these so it turns out that his back light punch will cancel into sensational kicks. I think forward light kick, which is this move here. If you do this, I think if you do sort of this one into light punch, there's like all of these different strings that basically I don't know how to cancel. I don't know where to cancel moves. And I think it's such an it was such a strange design decision to have these arbitrarily gated cancels into specific moves, assigned to like what seems to be an almost like haphazard number of special moves. Like, if you really like this combo, right? And your opponent is expecting kicks, it would make sense for you to give a special cancel to avoid counters, and it would make sense to like make one of these kicks special cancelable into a punch button. That way, if they did go to counter because they know you're going to do that, they get hit with a beam. But that doesn't seem to be the case. And that's like, if this game was going to be like counter heavy, mix up heavy, it's just like, how are these cancel points useful in mix up situations? How are they useful at all? Because like, why would you ever do this? I don't know. In this case, like, I guess you'd do that if you've been constantly doing this string, right? Like, and the opponent is going to counter your second punch button, or if you've been doing that a lot, they would just counter punches, and then this move is a punch, right? It comes out as a punch, so they would counter it. But if you'd been doing this, if you've been really leg kicking them, Muay Thai style, right? Then it would make sense to just give you that. But there's not a use case. I don't see that as being a use case for why that's not, you know what I mean? Like, there's, hopefully you get that I'm confused by this, and it seems really arbitrary, and I'm just curious what the designers were thinking. Because, not all characters are created equal when it comes to cancels. Like, there are some characters that have very few cancels. I want to say, like, maybe Rogue is one of them. I don't know if that's true. Let's see. Let's just show off Juggernaut. Juggernaut's not a good example because he has a million cancels. And they're actually like useful buttons. His standing low, and like that's like an unseeable low. You're not reacting to that shit. But he can cancel into a lot of stuff off of that button. But he can't cancel into his Juggernaut charge. He can cancel it off of, forward heavy punch. He can cancel it off of, normal heavy punch. So again, the arbitrary nature of that, like, I don't get it. And I think that's fine. Like, I don't necessarily need to get it, but I'm just kind of confused. Because what's the point of these cancels? And then certain characters, I think, like, a really good, a really good example is like Sentinel Alpha. Sentinel Alpha can cancel into one move, I think. I think I actually like this costume for him. Let's look at his moves real quick. So he can cancel. He only has. Okay, he can cancel into mini and major. So like, he has a really hard time canceling into anything except for this, which is Corkscrew Forward Hard Punch. So he can do this off of like anything. But, why? Like, I don't get it. If you block this, string, right? You can counter the kicks. So like that would, I guess that would make sense. Or, like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's a double hitting move, which is good. It comes out pretty quick, it seems like. It can blow up attempts to get through armor or to get through different strings. Maybe if there's enough hit advantage on some of the the attacks in between. But I just think it's really interesting that, like, there's not a lot of, for me, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of, I don't want to say thought, because there probably was some thought, but it's not obvious to me. And maybe I'm not playing the game the way that the designers had imagined the game being played. But I think I just wanted to talk about how strange it seems these cancel points are, and how canceling in X-Men Next Dimension is strange. It's just odd. And that's it. That's our tech talk today. Our X-Men Next Dimension tech talk today. Canceling special moves in this game is weird. It just is. It's weird, and that's okay. Bam. Anyway, gang, I will talk to you all later.